Hey guys, what's up? I'm ShadowRock, and I'm here with Sapphire Stars 11 and our special guest, Ash Paulsen from GameXplain. How you doing, Ash?
I'm doing just fine, thanks. How are you guys?
I'm doing great. How about you, Seth?
Pretty happy.
Good to hear it. Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. It's an honor to have you, honestly.
No, I was happy to do it. I'm glad you reached out. Actually, like I said in my original email reply to you, I was already very familiar with the channel and just the work that you guys have been doing. And I think you're doing fantastic work for the Mega Man fan community as a whole. And yeah, like you and Ultimate Maverick X are like my favorite Mega Man fan enthusiast YouTubers. So I was absolutely happy to do this.
Oh, dude, that means a lot.
Wow.
No, you really go in and to a lot of detail on your Mega Man coverage, which I got, you know just as well as I do, that isn't all that common. So it's really nice to see, somebody else out there really going in depth on Mega Man and, really, digging deep and finding the things that fans are really going to care about.
Yeah, like I try for sure. The last 7 years have been rough because obviously there's been nothing really worth talking about other than the legacy collections here and there. But now we got this game.
Right, I mean, really, yeah. Exactly. No, all we had for the past 7 years was Smash, really, and now finally we have a brand new Mega Man game.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I guess let's go ahead and kick this off with a recap. What happened last week and a day ago now?
Yes.
We got a new trailer for Mega Man 11, and we got the release date October 2nd. They announced an Amiibo, and they announced an Amiibo edition that's GameStop exclusive. I don't know why it's GameStop exclusive.
Who knows?
Ugh, yeah.
It's
hate that.
dumb, but
Yeah.
I hate retailer exclusives in general. I mean, but I'm also specifically really not a fan of GameStop.
yeah.
Yeah, me neither. I remember back in the day when they had a Mega Man Star Force came out, and the Dragon version was actually GameStop exclusive.
Oh, I remember that, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny, yeah. I do remember the Dragon version being exclusive,
Yeah.
I think.
I'm actually playing through it right now, and it's kind of hard, and I'm nervous at the same time because I'm getting close to Gemini Spark.
Good luck.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Going back to the trailer then, we got basically a reveal of Blockman and Fuse Man. And Fuse Man looks pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I really loved his design, and I first saw Fuse Man when I went to go to my preview appointment, of course, and that was the first time I saw him. And I actually did get to see that trailer as well, but of course I couldn't say anything about it. But they did show me the trailer they were planning to release on May 29th, which they ultimately did. However, they did not tell me about the Amiibo.
Oh.
So it's not as if Capcom gave me a sneak peek about everything that they were going to show on the 29th. Like, again, they showed me the trailer. I got to play the full demo. They told me he's going to be at E3 on the show floor, of course. But they didn't say a word about the Amiibo.
Wow.
So that was a true surprise for me. And what a great surprise.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it either. Like, I saw your tweets. Like, I'm sure you saw my reply too, but you started tweeting, "Oh, I'm gonna play this game. I'm really excited about it." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, is it really happening?"
Yeah, I can't believe, like, on top of everything, we're also getting a brand new Mega Man Amiibo. There's the PlayStation theme when you pre-ordered it on PS4. And yeah, I mean, this all just kind of reinforces my own running theory that there are going to be no cuts in the new Smash Brothers. At least that's what I'm hoping for.
Yes.
But either way, I really do expect to see Mega Man come back. After all this, there's no way Mega Man will be returning.
Yeah, I think Mega Man's gonna be in Smash too. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
He has to be.
Yeah, I think he and everybody else are safe. Yeah, he's got to be, right? There's no way they're not going to put him in Smash 4 and then now he's like he has his own gaming career again, and then they take him back out. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, no, it hasn't been that long since Smash Wii U. I mean,
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
and someone else in the comments was like, now Mega Man can actually double charge with the double gear system, and Mega Man uses the double Mega Busters in Smash. So, like, if they brought him back for Smash, they could totally use the double gear system as far as his moveset.
Yeah. I would love, either that or just at the very least some sort of, maybe just one special weapon from 11 to replace the Leaf Shield. I could already see the Block Dropper replacing the Leaf Shield or something like that, just because of all the tools in Mega Man's Smash arsenal. The Leaf Shield does have its uses, but it's very situational, and
Yeah.
I'd rather see it replaced with something a lot better.
But Mega Man is a very gimmicky character in Smash.
He is, but he's so fun to use. Oh,
Yeah,
it
he's
feels
pretty
like
cool.
you're playing a Mega Man game when you play him well, and that's like the highest compliment I can
Yeah,
pay.
for sure.
Yeah.
I do think if they do use Blockman's weapon, please do not prevent Mega Man from jumping when he uses it. Please do not do that.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, that was a problem with a few of his moves in Smash, for sure.
Yeah, especially Leaf Shield. It was...
Yes.
Ugh.
The only thing about that is, I'm not sure. Maybe you can correct me on this, Ash. But doesn't Mega Man stop moving when he uses Blockman's weapon in the game?
Well, actually, I can't say for sure because the demo I played actually didn't have any special weapons available.
Oh.
So I was able to play through Blockman and Fuseman stages and fight them and beat them and actually see the get weapon screens. But then the demo ends, and you don't actually get to use them. So
Okay.
it does look as though Mega Man stops when he uses the block dropper. It doesn't look like he can fire it off while he's running, but I can't say that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know, actually.
Yeah, I kind of wish that they did have special weapons available in the demo, just because I would have really liked to be able to check out or test out that omnidirectional,
Yeah,
weapon
right?
selection mechanic now. Instead of using the shoulder buttons, you move the right stick, and I would have liked to try that out, but apparently it's just not meant to be.
Like, it looks so good on paper. The fact that you can select whatever weapon you can at any given moment.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you memorize which direction corresponds to which weapon,
Mm-hmm.
you're good to go. And I can see, between that and the speed gear, like, I can see speedrunners doing incredible things with Mega Man 11. Like,
Oh.
once people have figured out and cracked it open and gotten used to it, between the speed gear and just switching weapons on the fly with the right analog stick, speedrunners are going to do... I can't wait. They're going to do crazy things with this game.
It's gonna be fun
Yeah,
to
like-
watch, to be honest.
I'm really
Yeah.
happy what they're doing with the special weapons. Like, Blockman's looks pretty good for like aerial coverage, and Fuseman's weapon you can fire in all directions, and it kind of rails across the ground and the ceilings, and I really like that. That was a really cool looking weapon.
Right, yeah, and I think I mentioned this in my preview, but it was very specifically told to me that the design goal this time around is to really make it so that enemies are placed outside the convenient range of the Mega Buster. So they really do want to encourage you not to lean too heavily in the Mega Buster and to really, really utilize your special weapons and experiment with them and figure out how best to use them to get through each stage. And I think that's a nice contrast from something like, let's say Mega Man 5, which, hey, it's actually my favorite classic game, but
Really?
Mega Man 5 relied way too heavily on the Mega Buster and was way
Yeah.
too easy as a result. It just
Like, it had the
wrecked
best
balance.
charge shot, but
Yeah.
a lot of the weapons were very situational.
Yeah.
I do agree with that.
Mega Man 5 was my first
Exactly.
classic game, actually.
Nice. I don't hear that very often. Usually I hear that 2 or 3 is people's first classic game, which,
I think,
of course, nothing wrong with that.
I think Mega Man 3 was my first classic game.
I think 3 was mine too, actually, yeah. And then I went back and played 2 and 1 as a kid because I just got so into it. But yeah, so either way, 11 seems to really be trending toward really trying to make you use your special weapons more than just brute forcing through with the Mega Buster. Although you can do that, as evidenced by the fact that I finished both stages in the demo with no special weapons.
Nice. Yeah, I'm really because like we've been talking about, some of the weapon lineups in past Mega Man games have been very situational, or you just may as well not use them when you have the Buster. I especially like, again, how you can literally switch to any weapon you want at any time, because I've been playing Mega Man Legacy Collection again on the Switch, and I've been doing some of the challenges, and I'm like, man, when I want this one specific weapon, it might be like in the middle of the whole weapon wheel, so I gotta sit there and press the shoulder button a few times just to get to this one weapon.
Exactly. And that's when you're playing a game that you can even do that in. Like, as much as I really like the Mega Man Legacy Collections, and I understand they were going for that classic, representation of the games, I do kind of wish they'd updated them with some quality of life things, such as weapon switching, even in like Mega Man 1, 2, 3. Like, maybe it goes against the design ethos, but I don't know. I think it just would have been a nice quality of life update by modern standards. But I can also see the argument for not doing that as well.
Hope they do that with the X
Yeah,
collection, to be honest.
I think they were all the X games all already had shoulder button switching for weapons, like all the way back to
Yeah,
X1.
I believe so too. But that wasn't the, what would they call them? The like those PlayStation ports for the classic Mega Man games. Didn't they?
Oh,
add,
yeah, the Rockman
shoulder
Complete
buttons?
Works ports. Yeah, they actually did add that for those, but
Oh.
for whatever reason, I think they did actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they
Yeah.
added shoulder button switching for the Rockman Complete Works ports, but I guess because, I guess Digital Eclipse was taking a museum-like preservation approach to the Legacy Collection, so they wanted to preserve them in their original forms, which, again, I appreciate, but would have been nice to at least have the option, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. We were just talking about Mega Man X, so maybe we can discuss this. Do you think there will actually be a Mega Man X connection in Mega Man 11?
I mean, I don't think so. I kind of doubt it. At this point, it doesn't feel like Capcom is very interested in actually bridging the Classic and X series, although we do know that was kind of more of an Inafune directive than anything, and of course Inafune's gone, so...
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, whatever Inafune did or didn't want to do doesn't matter now, so, maybe we will get some sort of connection. The one thing I can say about the story is that one of the Capcom reps I spoke to during my preview appointment said that while there is a bigger focus on story than 9 and 10, just by virtue of the fact that these are not, retro remakes again, we shouldn't necessarily expect a level of story focus like on par with Mega Man 8 necessarily. Like, there is going to be more of a story focus, but it's not going to become like all about the story. But at the same time, I was told that the story does answer some minor long-standing questions that at least one Capcom rep has had about the universe, about Mega Man lore. Now, that I don't want to make it sound like they're talking about X or anything big. It could very well be like, they reconfirmed that Dr. Cossack created Beat or something. I don't know. But apparently there are certain minor questions that could be answered by Mega Man 11's story, and that's what was told to me. So
Okay. Well, thanks for teasing me, Capcom.
right, yeah, and I'm sitting there like, what do you mean by this? Like, oh, this is killing me. But yeah, it could be something big, but it was kind of suggested to me that these are more kind of on the minor sense or side of things.
Well, whatever happens, I was thinking, I had this idea while I was like analyzing the footage earlier, and that was the fact that like the double gear system feels like a precursor to like some of Mega Man X's mechanics, like the double charge shot, X's arm cannon X2 with the double fire charge shots, whatever.
Exactly.
And then the fact that you can charge up your special weapons too with the power gear, that's just like the arm upgrades in the X series.
Right. No, I totally hear you. And I mean, it goes to follow that if Wily was going to start designing Zero, that he would, want to use the basis of either the double gear system or anything that's going to overclock a robot beyond their normal capacity. That seems to, kind of lend itself to Zero's design in terms of being a futuristic, super powered robot, basically. Not robot, and, android, Reploid, or whatever you want to call Zero at this point. But yeah, I mean, it goes to follow that there are certain thematic connections there. So I don't know if I expect them to connect Mega Man 11 to the X series, like, officially, but there are signs that maybe it's possible, and I sure would love to see it.
Yeah, it'd be, I mean, even if they just had like a silhouette of Zero at the end, that would be a lot.
Yeah, just like, calling back to Mega Man 2, the Power Battle. Power Fighters? Power Battle? I can't remember which.
Yeah. I was going to bring that up too, actually. Like,
oh, nice.
Apparently, Dr. Wily's been working on him for a while because Power Battles takes place after Mega Man 8. So, we're Zero, right?
Yeah.
Right, I mean, well, we did have that, almost 10 or so years, intervening years between 8 and 9. So he's had almost a decade before 9 even came out. And then he's had, the 7 years after 10. So he's had at least, a good 20-ish years to work on Zero by this point.
Right?
Yeah.
And maybe we'll have something, even if it's like a silhouette, like SR said, or maybe we might even have a mini boss fight with Zero, like in one of the Mega Man fan games. I think it's Mega Man Unlimited. So
yeah, it's Unlimited.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe we'll get something, because you did remind me that the whole double gear thing does sound like something Zero would also have, considering what you can do with him, like in X4 and stuff like that.
Or at least, the basis for it, I mean, I don't know if I really expect to actually see Zero or let alone fight him in 11, but, I do think there's a chance we could get some low-key kind of, under the cuff
Just like a little nod.
Yeah,
here and
little
there.
little nods here and there, but I don't know if I expect to actually see or fight Zero in Mega Man 11. Well, no, actually, I don't expect to, but I think that would be very cool if it did happen.
Oh.
Right? But I agree for sure. Like, I don't expect anything really. But, you know. Oh, anyways, I guess, Sapphire, did you have anything to add to this before we move on?
Not really. I do want to know. I kind of want to see how much more emphasis they're going to put more on the double gear system.
Yeah.
Well,
think
it
that's
does seem
actually-
to be quite emphasized. I mean, it was related to me clearly that you can finish the game without using it. It's completely possible not to use the double gear system and still beat the game. However, it's very difficult, and the game is clearly designed around the use of it. So,
That's what it looks like to me, yeah.
yeah.
And someone did mention that, I think it was Kellen from Capcom. He wrote a PlayStation blog post and he said you can beat the game without the double gear system if you really want to.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that's-
and that lines up with what I've heard, and you know, that seems to be the kind of thing that would be fun to do on on a second or a third run through the game. You know, I don't think I'd want to do that
Yeah.
on my first run through, just because I like playing a game. You know, I'll challenge myself later, but I like playing a game the way it was kind of meant to be experienced with the proper mechanics in place and such, right?
Yeah, right. Do you think it feels very natural, like the slide and the charge shot in the past? Does it feel like a natural addition to Mega Man's moveset?
It does eventually. I would actually kind of liken it to the drop dash from Sonic Mania in that sense, where the first time I played through Sonic Mania, I remember the first couple of times really, I barely remembered to use the drop dash, and I wasn't being very good about just remembering to use it and kind of mix it into my playing and kind of utilizing it naturally. But then as I played more and I got more used to it, now I'm always using it. And as I was playing the Mega Man 11 demo, I noticed that on my first few lives, and maybe for the first 45 minutes or so, I was constantly having to be reminded to use the double gear system. Like I would take a hit or something, or I would have trouble with a mini boss, and the Capcom reps would remind me, "Hey, you got that speed gear, you got the power gear," and they had to remind me. But then I would say in the second 45 minutes or so, because I'd say I played about an hour and a half overall, give or take a few minutes either way, and in the second half of the appointment, I was much more adept at meter management and remembering to use the power and speed gears and just kind of switching them on and off as I go, and not stopping thinking, oh, I should use it, and then switching it off. Like I was getting very good pretty quickly at switching it on and off and using it on the fly.
Yeah, it sounds really cool though. Like that, slowing down time and having more power in general. It definitely is gonna help you throughout the adventure.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so the other thing we could probably talk about is like the rest of the Robot Masters. We don't know their names officially, but we can talk about their design because they did show the artwork for them. So these are just some tentative names because someone kind of took that screenshot of the stage select screen and tried to decipher what
I was doing the
heck they
same
say.
exact thing. As I'm sure we all were, yeah.
Yeah, so what this person came up with is the pink guy with that little, I don't know, little like light pink ball over his head. His name is Bounce Man. And then you have the red Robot Master of the Flames, Torch Man. Blast Man is apparently the bluish Robot Master.
The Sonic one.
Yeah, the Sonic,
The Sonic
one.
one, nice.
Then there's Tundra Man, which is like the guy with the little crystals. I would assume they are. Whatever.
Yeah, those are crystals.
And
Yeah.
And then the truck-looking guy, Impact Man. And then Sapphire's favorite design, actually, Acid Man, with the goo and the...
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I gotta say, I'm glad that people seem to agree that the Fire Robot Master is going to be Torchman, because I came to the same conclusion based on that image. I'm like, okay, guys, I think I said this in a GameXplain podcast or discussion recently, but I'm like, I'm calling it now. The Fire-themed Robot Master is Torchman. It just looks too much like Torchman on that pixelated image. That's what I think it's going to be.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, it's pretty funny that they're bringing in, like, a localization name from NT Warrior. But then someone reminded me that there is Mega Man 3 DOS that also had Torchman.
That's a good point. I forgot that it's Torchman in NT Warrior. And also I was thinking about another Battle Network connection, that if it does end up being Blast Man, that would end up being our first reverse Robot Master link, I guess. It would be our first, Robot Master originating as a net navi in Battle Network and then being remade as a Robot Master. I don't know if they'll be based on each other at all. It doesn't seem like it. But it's just kind of neat that the name connection is kind of working in the reverse way now.
It's cool.
Definitely for sure. I guess we'll have to wait on Moltanic Man. Though.
Oh!
Yeah.
And Heavy Metal Man.
Heavy Metal Man. The anti-warrior names are great.
They were, except for the one, which was, I don't know why they thought Colored Man would be any better. Well, why they thought it would be better at all than Color Man. It's so much worse. Like, why would they... Oh man, that was so bad. I couldn't believe it at the time. I still can't believe it now.
Maybe it's because he has those little colored dummies, the red one and the blue one, which represents Fire Tower and Aqua Tower. But even then, that's still a stretch.
It totally is. It's just like, I mean, yeah, obviously nothing offensive was meant by it, but it's just one of those boneheaded, like, who didn't think about the obvious, like, what? How did this get through? But
like
it's just one of those weird things, yeah.
That's one of the few instances where Wacko Man actually makes more sense. It fits the character more.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Oh, and there's also Fridge Man.
Oh man.
Cool Man.
And there were like Gate Man. I'm like all these like unique net navies are starting to come back to me now.
Yeah.
Like Gate Man and Serenade and
Love Serenade.
Serenade had a cool design. Yeah.
Yeah, Serenade would be pretty cool. I would like to see him in classic.
Soon, Capcom, maybe.
Serenade's a secret boss.
Yes, but you have to go searching around the entire secret area, like you have to do with Base or Shadow Man in Battle Network.
Right.
You gotta get 100%.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I don't even know if there's any like special pickups in Mega Man 11. What do you think?
Special pickups?
Collectibles, I guess you would say.
Yeah, I don't know about collectibles. I mean, I know there are specific pickups that will that I believe. What do they do? I think they actually recharge your overdrive meter, not your overdrive meter, your double gear meter. So if you are currently overheating or you're waiting for your bar to go back down to 0, there are new pickups now that will speed that process along, I think.
Okay, I figured it.
Oh yeah, it's the gear pickup. I remember now. You
Yeah.
can see a gear pickup in the trailer. That's what that's for.
Yeah, I remember when we first saw in the reveal trailer, we were like, what the heck is that thing?
Yeah, that's exactly what that's for. It's basically like a double gear system restoration item.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right.
I also wanted to bring something else up too, was there's a cutscene in Dr. Light's lab, and someone pointed out on Twitter that if you look on one of the computer screens, Dr. Light is actually buying a new coat for himself.
Awesome.
Online.
I love it.
What?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Well, he was always looking he looked pretty fly in Mega Man 8, so I was always hoping that he'd go back to a kind of a more just over-the-top villainous design and go, from just the regular lab coats again back to... He had this weird, almost vampiric design, his costume in Mega Man 8. It was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It was just kind of overdone and in that kind of like cool anime villain style, and I'd love to see Wily go back to that.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking of his disguise, Mr. X in Mega Man 6.
Yeah, the best disguise ever.
He didn't change his hair, but them shades are pretty good.
I love it.
My plan has failed.
Oh yeah, without the E, that's one of my favorite typos in
Right.
in Mega Man. Yeah.
Oh man. Anyways, have we talked about the Amiibo yet?
We haven't really. I mean, only the fact that we're shocked that it exists, and it's awesome that it exists.
Right? It is so cool. I don't know why we needed another Mega Man Amiibo, but I am not going to complain.
Yeah, me neither. And I can't imagine what it would do unless, maybe it could unlock some sort of like exclusive graphical filters or, I don't know, exclusive music, like remixes. I don't know what it would do, really.
My idea was, do you remember the Mega Man Star Force little get up?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, what if the Amiibo has something to do with that?
Yeah.
That's true too, and I did bring that up in my preview appointment, and I got kind of a non-answer. It was strange. They basically told me, don't put much stock into that. At first they had to be reminded what I was talking about. I was like, hey, so there's this one screenshot in the Game Informer cover story that very clearly had, it wasn't Star Force Mega Man, I don't think, but it had Mega Man in what was clearly a Star Force costume. And I'm
Right.
like, could you tell me what's that about? I mean, if that's under embargo, I don't have to, say anything. That's fine. But I'm just curious, like, what was that about? And basically, their answer amounted to like, oh, well, first they needed to be reminded about it. Then they're like, oh, that's don't put too much stock into that. That's not like a big deal. Don't double down on that. So that tells me that maybe it's just like maybe it was a development screenshot. Maybe they were testing that character model out for. I don't know why they would. So that doesn't make sense. Like why they would. I don't know why they would test a Star Force Mega Man character model out.
I was looking at it again, and I noticed the art designer for Mega Man 11 said how when he goes to make the art for the different special weapons, he would only change Mega Man's Buster Cannon arm and his helmet, and that's all he would touch. So I looked at the Star Force costume again, and only his Mega Buster and his helmet actually changes. The rest of him is completely the same.
Nice, good catch. So I don't know. I mean, that tells me maybe. I don't know what they meant by like don't focus on that as a big thing. I mean, I think any hardcore fan already knew as soon as they saw that wasn't pointing to like a crossover. Like obviously we know the Classic series not only takes place, in a different time frame, but is in a completely alternate universe than Battle Network and Star Force. So there's no way that this is an in-universe crossover. I mean, at the most, it has to be costumes or something like that, some sort of thematic element. But I don't think it's going to be anything like a full crossover. I don't think we're going to see actually Star Force, Mega Man, and Omega Zis in Mega Man 11. No way.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe the Amiibo unlocks a Star Force costume. Maybe it unlocks costumes based on all the different, Mega Man incarnations. Who knows?
Yeah, I think that would be a good use for the Amiibo, or it could just be like, how Capcom loves their DLC costumes.
Oh no.
They could totally do that too.
That's for sure. Although, I mean, we say that, and that's true, at least in terms in a fighting game context, but I gotta say, I was really surprised when I asked about the Japanese voice track, and not only was told that it wouldn't be DLC, but it's gonna come included in the game. Like, that is very un-Capcom-like, actually.
Wow.
And was a nice
that's
surprise. True. Like, apparently it's not gonna be DLC, you're just gonna have it right on the disc, or right in the, the data when you download it, whatever. And so if you like me, you can't stand Mega Man's US voice, you can switch the voice track to the Japanese track and have his proper kid-sounding Rockman voice. But I do plan to play through. I will say I do plan to play through with the English voices the first time, just because other than Mega Man himself, the rest of it sounds really good. Like I'm loving the way Blockman sounds. Like the voice acting is some good stuff here outside of Mega Man himself, I would say.
Yeah, I'm actually fine with the voice acting overall because, I mean, I grew up with Mega Man 8, Mega Man X4, and you know how those went down.
Right.
So,
We don't need to fight
these voices are fine.
Yeah.
To me.
No, totally. And of course, I mean, with respect to, Capcom's marketing, I totally understand why they want to give Mega Man a slightly, more masculine, kind of
Like
aged-up voice for the Western markets. I totally get it. That doesn't make me upset. I'm just like... I'm so glad a Japanese voice track is also included because to me, classic Mega Man, he's supposed to be a kid. He's designed to be a kid, or to resemble a kid, and he's supposed to sound like one too. So it's just always weird to me when he sounds essentially like kind of like me, like I'm talking now, deeper voice, and it's just weird, right?
Yeah,
Right.
a little bit.
Yeah. Like, I was listening to his Japanese voice, and he reminded me a lot of Rockman.exe's voice in the anime, and also Gio's voice, and also from the anime. Star Force. Reminded me of those voices.
Yeah, me too, actually. Now that I didn't think of it at the time, but now that I'm going back and thinking of it, yeah, you're totally right.
So I like how they're kind of continuing that trend of Rockman's childlike voice to the Japanese side of things.
Yeah, for sure.
Were you gonna say something, Sapphire?
I was gonna say I was kind of thinking around the same lines about that. It's interesting that they're giving you the option to have the Japanese voices, but I'm also just kind of wondering why they didn't actually. They could have allowed Mega Man to sound a little more kiddish this time around, maybe.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I as a fan, I agree. I just think that marketing probably doesn't play as well in the U.S. or in not just the U.S., the West in general, and that's kind of always been the case with Mega Man, right? I mean, even going back through the years, the way Mega Man has been marketed in the West has always been different from his Japanese marketing. And he's always sounded different too. Like, you even go back to like Mega Man Powered Up and, you know, Rock, or as they call him in that game, Mega, which I hate. You know,
I forgot about
he
that.
He sounds like a teenager, and it's like, I get why they want to age him up for this, for the Western markets, but yeah, as a fan, it's not my thing, but I can see why they did it.
Yeah, I can see it. But, you know, at least the rest of the voices, they sound like I imagine them sounding like Dr. Light, Dr. Wily.
Yeah. Yeah, then they sound great. Again, Blockman and Fuseman both sound great from what I've heard. So, yeah, I mean, other than the tone of Mega Man's voice, I'm really liking the English voice track as well.
Dr. Light's voice actor, he sounds so similar to the Ruby Spears one.
Right?
He does. Yeah, he really does.
Yeah.
But it works.
We'll have to see when the cast list comes out, if that's true or not. Someone was telling me, it was Red ZX, he's another Mega Tuber. I was talking to him, and he thinks that Ben Diskin or whatever, Ben Diskin, something like that, voices Mega Man, and let me actually
Doug
look
Stone.
real quick.
Doug Stone was Dr. Light.
Doug Stone.
Okay.
Apparently Doug Stone voices Dr. Light, and he did Dr. Light in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I want the Ruby Spears voice actor, though.
Oh, man.
I want it for the meme purposes. You gotta understand. I mean, that show has some good content.
I can give you a little bit here. I can't do Dr. Light, but I can, let's see here. It's time for a mega battle in Mega City, little bro. So there's your little
It's Torchman, little man.
yeah, there's your little Proto Man sampling from the Ruby Spears Mega Man cartoon.
Oh my gosh.
I like doing impressions. It's a fun. I like just doing random voices and impressions, which kind of makes sense.
I knew you would protect Mr. Lincoln.
Yeah, Mr. Lincoln. Yeah, so good.
I like to see them do a throwback to the bathroom scene in the Ruby Spears.
Oh no!
Oh man. Well, we may unintentionally be getting a throwback to the Ruby Spears cartoon in the form of that Mega Man of Action cartoon, Fully Charged.
Oh yeah.
So we may be unintentionally getting that.
Oh boy, that is another a bomb waiting to go off.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing entirely.
Yeah. That's a
maybe another day.
Yeah.
baby.
There is actually another very controversial thing going on, and that is the fact that they just announced, I think yesterday or the other day, that Europe is not getting a Nintendo Switch physical copy of Mega Man 11.
Which is funny. It's funny because they didn't get Star Force 3 at all.
They didn't get. Oh, I don't think I realized
No.
that. They didn't get Star Force 3 at all?
Yeah. Another fun fact, they didn't get Mega Man 6 until the 3DS Virtual Console
Wait,
release.
what?
That I knew. Yeah, that part I knew, but I didn't know about Star Force 3.
Wow.
Yeah, they also didn't get Mega Man Soccer, Star Force 3, Zero Collection. They didn't get any of the collections either.
What?
Yeah, those. Yeah, it's funny. I knew all those, but Star Force 3. Wow, I feel like I should have.
Yeah.
I would have remembered that. That's crazy that they. And that sucks too, because it's like easily, at least in my opinion, the best game in the series. So.
Agreed.
Yeah, they really.
Yeah.
Wow, that sucks because you start with 1 and it's okay, and then you get 2 and it's maybe a little better, but 3 is so good.
2's a nightmare.
And that was when the series really found its footing. And then wow,
Right,
it sucks for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they finally added Galaxy Advances. You finally have, like, your own version of, like, the cross system, and you're able to... You're really able to put Geo's full abilities into effect, and they don't get any of
It
it.
was essentially...
Yeah.
Essentially what Boundary 3 was to the Boundary series, where they finally nailed it perfectly.
Yeah.
The
No, it
actual
really
formula.
is.
It's too bad they didn't go on to Star Force 4 after that, but then again, Boundary 4.
Wait.
Yeah, and
I mean, this game could do good, and we might get it. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if Mega Man 11 does well, like, who knows what could happen, right?
yeah, I have a feeling that if 11 does well, next on the docket is probably going to be something with X, whether that's X9
Yeah.
or a reboot. I don't, but again, because they didn't reboot classic Mega Man, I don't think they're going to reboot X anymore. Like for a while there, I was thinking, okay, well, I don't think Mega Man's dead. Eventually, they're going to make another Mega Man game, but because the name Mega Man 11 already is kind of a high bar for newcomers, it's like, well, crap, should I have played the first 10 games before this? I figured, well, you know, after 8 years, they're not going to do a game called Mega Man 11. I was wrong. And for the same reason, I was thinking, well, they're never going to make a game called, you know, Mega Man X9 because there aren't that many people left who are still really, really, really wondering what happened, what Lumine did to Axel 20 years later. So I figured they'd probably never revisit that, but maybe they will. I mean, maybe if 11 does well, X9 is next.
I know a lot of people are looking forward to like a game about the Elf Wars that happens between X and Zero.
Yeah.
I would love that, yeah.
They really...
Or a new,
They hinted a lot about it in 0, 2, and 3, but they didn't really go into major details about it.
Yeah, I would love to see a new series that kind of covers the Elf Wars, or I'd also like to see a new sequel series to Battle Network and Star Force.
Yes!
Like I do think
like Patch, Land Sun. They need to do that.
Land Sun, and I feel like Battle Network was so ahead of its time, and the fact that the tech wasn't quite there yet to fully take advantage of, you know, Battle Network's vision for fully online connectivity. But now with the Switch, can you guys imagine a new Star Force Battle Network style series debuting on Switch with full online connectivity, full, you know, net battling? Like, that would be, like, the technology's here now to realize Battle Network's full vision, and I just would love to see it come back for that reason.
Yeah!
I totally agree.
Oh
like,
my
that would be big for, like, because I started my channel with Battle Network and Star Force. That's what people mainly know me for.
Oh, okay, nice.
So like that's how I figured out that Star Force 3 wasn't in Europe, because someone told me in the comments like, yeah, we didn't have Star Force 3 in Europe. We had to import if we wanted it. I'm like, holy crap, that sucks.
Wow, yeah, that does suck.
Gee.
Yeah. Having a fully online Battle Network like the fan game Chrono X is doing right now. Like,
That's true,
is huge for the Battle Network community.
Exactly. Especially considering what everyone in the community has to do just to play PvP in Battle Network 6. I mean...
It's a pain in the butt, I'll tell you that
much.
Yeah.
I mean, and this would also be a great way for everybody to really connect with Battle Network, because I have Battle Network 5, and I got into the series pretty late, like 2013. I don't know anyone at all in the entire city where I am. Just to full disclosure, I'm in New York City. I don't know anybody who has played Battle Network, and I'm mainly alone playing it. So if we end up getting a Battle Network game on the Switch, or a Star Force one, and we're able to play online with everyone else, that's huge. It really would impact not only the franchise, but the community. And it would just, for me, since it's my favorite series, I would really appreciate that.
I would love to see that series return, or you know, that the design ethos of that series return in a new sequel series, if they want to do that, like something set 100 years after Star Force.
Whoa.
Whatever. I mean, if they want to do... I mean, I'd love to see Battle Network 7, although I do kind of... Much like the Zero series, I really appreciate and respect the fact that they actually did definitively end it, when they will never do that, probably with Classic or X. So I do kind of appreciate that Battle Network did have a finite ending. And for that reason, I wouldn't mind if they didn't go back to it, but instead did a... you know, like a sequel series. That said, I ate up those LAN and Mega Man EXE cameos in Star Force 3. So
yeah,
you know, I say that, but I would be happy to play as them again.
I think a sequel series makes a lot of sense, because they already have the groundwork for it. In Star Force 2, they had those emails from LAN talking like the events that happened after EXE.
Oh, it was 2, not 3. My bad.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, they had like his NetNavi is called his son's NetNavi, I should say, is called Mega Man Junior.
Of course.
And like he's like supposed to be the best of both worlds between Mega Man and Roll.
Okay.
So, and like Higsby's got a big chain store now. Like there's a lot there that they could work with for a sequel series.
I need to not think too hard about how that all works. Like the fact that Mega Man Junior.exe is a program and a NetNavi, but he apparently combines the best parts of Mega Man EXE and Roll EXE. I just can't think too hard about how that could possibly work, but I love it. I'm there for it.
They just stare at each other. Yeah,
Nice.
And that's how NetNavi reproduction works. They just stare at each other.
Nice.
Boom! There
Digital
you go.
transmission or whatever, yeah.
Network transmission. Oh my goodness. Well, I think we're getting a little bit off topic now, so I think it's a good time to actually go into the questions the viewers wanted to ask Ash about Mega Man 11.
Yeah, let's do it.
And we'll have to do questions next time because we ended up talking for a full 2 hours. So stay tuned for part 2 of our Mega Man 11 discussion as Ash begins to answer your questions about the game. So Ash, where can they find you at?
So you can find me on, of course, GameXplain. That's where I am a producer and editor. YouTube.com/GameXplain. You'll find all sorts of great gaming content, especially Nintendo content from all of us. But you can also find me on Twitter at Ash Paulsen. I'm boring like that. It's just my name. Instagram as well at Ash Paulsen. You can find my name in various Udon art books over the years. If you own a Mega Man art book, you'll see my name in there. Yeah, you can find me anywhere, but mainly GameXplain and Twitter right now.
And for more on Mega Man 11 and other things Mega, stay tuned to ShadowRockZX. Thank you to Ash from GameXplain for talking with us, and you, the viewers, for watching this video. Until next time, rock on!